I also see LGD heading to Milter Power alongside FaZe.
Yep, it seems they're going to be contesting each other, and FaZe are actually seeing that. Yeah, FaZe are seeing this, and they're actually rotating to going to Lipovka. They see Lipovka is free, so good call from FaZe here. They're going to most likely have Lipovka and just
Sun
around
Sisters looks like they're going around there as well, so they may bump into Sun Sisters. There's Chaos. They tend to go over to Farm. You can see Milter as well for Vitality, so they should be fairly easy. It does look like Noble are going down this way into Novo. Ghost following. Yeah, interesting one. Rogue in standard, they're going Sosnovka, it's pretty standard for them. Method into Pachinki, they'll be happy because there's a lot of people who've been effectively doing team deathmatch on them throughout the scrims and dropping in Pachinki just to have a fight with them. Looking across, now, Kinguin did make adjustments yesterday. They used to be a South Georgia Pol team. They have been dropping into Rozhok, and it does look like it's going to be the same. But the problem is, because of the way the plane has worked, it does mean that likes of KSV, everyone that wants to go over to Georgia Pol, which is a Vanguard, KSV, Optic, everyone's going to have to steal vehicles from that area. We're watching Noble dropping in, though, in crates. This is down in Novo. Now, Ghost Gaming were nearby, but they've kind of gone over towards Crossroads and Garage more than anything. So Noble going to have pretty much the freedom of Novo here.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, this specific plane path is going to be really tough for teams going now North George and South George. They're going to be competing for cars, and they're going to... But as we see, the first circle appears.
The first circle swings it completely over the West Coast. So absolutely everyone that's dropped, nobody is inside the first circle. Just think how big that first circle is. Not a single person is inside it right now. So absolutely everyone, obviously making the loop paths. Everyone's going to head over to Georgia Pol. You can see it right there. It has gone for a Gatka swing. Now this is pretty good. I love this circle because it's 50% for water, but it means it's only 50% landmass, which means early rotations could be vital, but considering where the plane path has gone, those early rotations are going to mean low loot teams.
Yeah, exactly. But in that same time, you know, since the plane path cut on the east side, that this whole circle, there's not going to be anyone looting it. So you can actually go early and start looting it yourself. So you don't really need loot right now because you know that there's not going to be anyone around there.
Because like Tempo Storm, who are normally a West Coast loot team, they're actually down in Ferry Pier and stuff like that. They're doing the coastal team. Nobody's gone Primorsk. Optic actually made an adjustment, and a wise adjustment, because they're normally a North Georgia Pol team. They actually went up to Kameshki Stauber, so they're having a wise loot spree. It does mean TSM finally get their Yasnai loot because they had to miss out on that a couple of times. Sun Sisters are the team that were starting to go Primorsk yesterday. They've gone, actually looks like they're heading up to Zaki to me, and via shooting range. KSV, the only team that have decided, you know what, we're going to get over to South Georgia Pol, and they're obviously going to be in loot heaven once they get there, because that's fairly central.
Yeah, I mean, KSV landed on Rozhok and actually stole those vehicles from Avanga, and Avanga are now looting on the east side of Rozhok, so they're not even going to go to Georgia Pol themselves right now. They're going to just be looting on that side. But this is, yeah, an early rotation from Sun Sisters. They're known to go to Primorsk, and now they seem to be going on the north side. I don't know if they're going to go Zaki or North George. I would imagine Zaki because they don't know if Avanga maybe just snuck themselves in up there. But as you can see in the map right now, only two teams, well, three in the circle.
I think Miraku is disconnected for Kinguin. I can't see him. I can see the disconnect sign in there. I can see Vard Larsen and Gaxi, so I don't see Miraku. So unfortunately, it seems like they may be one man down. Hopefully, he'll be able to reconnect. Obviously, it's quite possible to do that. Here's KSV. Like I say, they have front six, back six, just about everything, really. You can see Sexy Pigs down in warehouses. Sims is the other side of warehouses. They got the loot, literally the freedom of Georgia Pol right now, and that's a lot of loot that they can take.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be super happy right now. They know they're the first ones there because they got the vehicles, and they're just going to loot the whole of Georgia Pol. And I'm curious to see if they're going to stay around there or they're going to rotate somewhat a little bit further away, knowing that that town is free. They can come back to it later. That's a specific strat people do when they loot towns. They don't need to stay there in the first circle. They can move a little bit out and then come back if it rotates there. We see Method rotating pretty early, though.
I mean, they've gone full spread, right? Sexy Pig's doing crates. You've got someone gone front six, someone gone back six. Sims is over in the other warehouses. They can just do everything they want. Sun Sisters are only just arriving in Zaki to start their loot. Meanwhile, you see Chaos, who obviously went farm. They're already rotating. So while Sun Sisters have just started looting, we've already got Chaos, Cloud9, Ghost. These teams are already rotating to the central circle. Method already leaving Pachinki as well. We talked about how they were leaving very early. Tempo Storm, of course, who were down in Ferry Pier, ordinarily a West Coast team. So Zampa, who's in the complex just on the edge of the swamp, may get caught out by some teams rotating into very early. Cloud9 heading his direction.
And all these teams know that Tempo Storm likes splitting up and looting as well. So if they do see one player and they want that compound, they could take it because it's going to be a 4v1. But Zampa here landing some shots at Moody. Moody down to, I believe, 10%.
They wanted to take that two-wheeler, didn't they? That's what they were looking to try and take the car, so they'd slowed completely down. And Zampa's like, no. That is our scout bike. Keep your hands off it, but he's got to be careful. There's still Cloud9 going by. Chaos heading by. Method look like they're going to get in the compound first. They've gone for a split. KSV have already moved down as well. You can see, obviously, they were in hospital, but Turtle and Andy are going to come in, and it looks like Chaos, are they going to divert it? You can see Fiend, he looks like he's going to pass on by, so Chaos don't want to mess with it, but CLG, where the hell did I pull that one from? Cloud9, Cloud9, CLG Cloud9, old rivals, but Papaya, the man that's been snaking it for Chaos, the man has been picked off, and it looks like he's going to be the first kill. He will go down, and Method collect themselves one. Can they get a second? As MPX taken very low there, just trying to get through the hills. Andy Pyro trying to line up the shots on him, just seeing if he can land anything through the trees. It doesn't look like, and he's going to get away.
Yeah, good shots by Turtle there, lasering with that AK, lands on Papaya and gets a first kill. So Papaya, first one down in this game number 5, as we see a lot of teams starting to rotate now. But I feel like a lot of teams are going to have issues as well because of the plane. There's not going to be that many cars on the east side, so...
So this is probably the earliest I've seen a Vanguard rotating. Because they didn't go North Georgia Pole, because they were over in Rozhok, and obviously on that sporadic loot, effectively your old strategy almost, they were doing your loot run. It means they've rotated early. They're in the yellows at the moment, in the yellow stuff. And MPX, bless him, he's kind of stuck behind this rock. You can see everybody on the rotate. Rogue making their way across Sosnovka. Noble coming across as well. Just McCoy left on the Sosnovka Island. LGD, Vitality, FaZe, all starting to leave. Actually, Vitality is still on the loot run, so they're going to play the edge circle game, I guess. TSM also just got into the vehicles. Optic up way up in north. They're starting to make the way down. Sunsisters, of course, who have literally arrived in Zaki, which actually surprised me that all 4 went to Zaki, because that's quite low loot city for 4 players.
Yeah, normally you can get geared out there with 2 players. Any more than that is a little bit not too much. But yeah, I mean, Avanga, this is a good change that they've done. Like, they're known to go late, and they struggled with that. If they didn't get the circle and they came in late to circle, they were struggling. So now they've adapted a little bit and are going in early. So I'm curious to see if this is an adaptation they needed to do to improve their standings right now. And Optic, known for coming in late. TSM, Vitality, and FaZe, all the last ones coming into the circle right now. Well, Vitality is still looting, actually. I mean, they're getting into the vehicles right now as he shows Shadow hopping on.
So Kinguin about to come in. You can see Noble. They've come all the way up from Nova. I wonder how looted they are, because they're a team that likes to loot fast and get into circles fast. But obviously, this time, the luck wasn't with them. And, you know, Cloud9 did joke that anywhere Noble drops, we're going to follow them because they got all the circles yesterday. So finally, we'll see, of course, whether they can get that top 5, top 6 positions that they were so frequently getting yesterday. Kinguin going to be passing by fairly close to a Vanguard, but they should be safe. There's a decent hill defilade there where they're passing by, so they shouldn't get shot at. They've got to be careful of ghosts who are in and around Gatka, though, as a Vanguard will just loot these few compounds and collect what they can. Like I say, compound looting, very different to what they've been used to in North Georgia Pole, so they would have been coming in a lot more heavily looted, so it's a different strategy for them. Austin's probably going to take a couple of shots there. You see him taking them on Kinguin, but so far, so good. Everybody alive apart from Papaya, bless him, goes down early on. So it looks like the rotates are all going to be fairly clean from everyone. I mean, there is a lot of land mass. Obviously, there's a lot of water, but I'm happy to see not too many boats. I expected to see actually quite a few boats coming from Sosnovka.
Yeah, no one took really boats. I mean, ideally, you want to have vehicles, and if you do find vehicles, you're going to rotate out of that. And I think that almost every team had vehicles, so it's not, they're going to just change it for boats. You don't really want to do that in case it shrinks to the far east. You want to have cover. So obviously every team seems to have been having cars and just using it. As we see Sunsisters actually coming from the northeast side, straight from Zakin, and getting into a fight with TSM, I believe.
Yeah, Sunsisters, yeah, TSM running straight into them. That's up north. This is going to pop out. This is all in the hills of Georgia Pole, so kind of on the rotate in more than anything. So Sunsisters, who were rotating out of Zaki, TSM were taking the northern route out of Yaznai. You can see them just in the hills playing the edge game, which is TSM's old strategy. They're obviously coming in late, so they're realizing they need to sit in the meta, and it's important to do that, right? It's to lead this. We were talking about, I had an interview yesterday, and I was talking about Avanga, you know, their meta rotations. You guys have been mentioning it, and Vis is going to finish that kill off, but you've got to think of the situation you're in, right? Like, so for example, Optic are coming in really late. They were the last ones coming in the circle. Vitality's going to be in there. So they know that the majority of compounds in and around the central area are taken. So they just have to play the end game. You have to play it. Whereas if you look at a Vanguard yesterday, they came in pretty much last, but still tried to blast into the center.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to work. I mean, that's the aggressive style, right? That tends to work out for them.
Exactly. And but I feel like the thing that TSM is doing recently is adapting. They used to be just only edge, and only edge just gets you so far. Sometimes you need to do this central and like position. We see Rogue actually getting Kingwin off guard. Yeah, they killed 2 of Kingwin rotating on the west coast, and this is something different for Kingwin. Kingwin are known to loot South George. Whenever West Circle appears, they know how to play it. But now that they're looting outside of the looting around the Rozhok area,
completely different.
They're rotating late, and they're not used to that. They're not used to compounds being taken already in the west circle, so they struggled a little bit there, getting into the mid, and they're down to 2. And we see Jazza landing beautiful shots.
Did he just hit the? He did. He hit one like a ridge. You saw the vehicle bounce and spin around. Rogue. That's 3 kills they've got so far. They might get a 4th here. As LGD are getting picked apart. There's no wheels on that wagon. He's going to be forced into the water, and Rogue are a team that absolutely need a performance today. They are, I think, down in 13th place.
15th place.
15th place. They had a horrific performance yesterday, and it's really no one's fault but their own. They were on Sosnovka. Not a single person challenged them yesterday. They just had a bad day.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to them today, actually, and I told them what was going wrong, what are you going to adapt for today? And the issue is that they were splitting too much, they said. They were just splitting as 2 even to late game, and they just got caught off guard so many times by a full-man team. So today, they're going to focus on being as 4. They already started with 3 kills.
Decent circle swing. Okay, so a circle update just coming in. It's a decent swing, and it has gone the majority of land. I would say the vast majority of teams already in there, so you probably won't see too many rotations other than a couple of teams trying to maybe centralize a little position. I can see Method. They're going to go for that radar tower position, like the deep crevice that's in there on the hillside. TSM and Optic are both going to have to move out of Georgia Poe. You can see Method. Layton's trying to get there. Looks like Cloud9 want to fight for it as well, because it is a very good overlooked position here that Layton's trying to get himself into. The rest of Method are going to come behind. You can see they're waiting to get in the vehicles. They're going to hop in, so 80 and Andy are going to make their way over towards that radar tower. It looks like they should secure it, which now leaves Cloud9 in an interesting position because they rotated, and I think they're going to have to be roadside. It looks like because there's a decent ditch down there in the yellow houses, which I believe yellow houses are taken by a Vanguard.
A Vanguard have the yellow houses,
I think I can just about catch a glimpse. I think the Vanguard have gone for a 2-2 split. And it looks like that's how it's going to play out. So Tempo Storm, you can see also in there. If the minimap could be zoomed in perfectly, there we go, exactly. Yeah, so they've just gone for this little ditch. A single member of a Vanguard is actually keeping them out of those yellow houses.
This is actually a spot of the team from EU, Knights. They're dominating in the online scene right now. They love playing this spot. They go there even earlier than that. They go at the very beginning. This is their prime spot. It's a really good spot because you get all the rotators going around, so you get a lot of kills. So C9 taking this spot right now could be crucial, bang in the middle.
Andrani's trying to line the shots up, but it is a decent amount of cover. You can see Forex is using the vehicle just to block his position. He did just get tagged up though. Solid FPS getting hit. I think that's actually coming from Tempo Storm maybe. Zampa has a relative angle on him from there, but you can see, yeah, they're going to tuck behind the rocks. He was getting hit from behind. So a lot of shots will be traded between. Optic finally coming in, actually. They're going to come into a fairly late circle. LGD are in all sorts of trouble. They're trying to make their way down the West Coast Road, and they're getting lit up by just about every team they pass by. It looks like they may run straight into Chaos, judging by the way that vehicle is heading in towards Fiend. So expect to see Chaos maybe coming into the kill feed in a second. Yeah, where's he going to go? Because there's the compound here, right, just north of him, which looks like where Meng's going to head towards. Okay, and he's going to get in there safely. It's basically the one that Method just gave up. So the LGD have moved into Method's old house.
Yeah, exactly. They've been scouting it and then just drove in as you saw Method leave. So the thing that Method did there was they've been scouting. This is something that every team needs to do. When you're in a position, you need to keep getting info from further away. Like Method were looking at that hill for quite a while. They were scouting it. As soon as the circle appeared, they just bombed it instantly because it's the shortest rotation for them. And you see a lot of teams do that, and then you see the follow-up teams just take the previous compound, like we saw just LGD do right now. You see Vitality, as they do, they love playing hills. They're right now playing the hill by the satellite. They don't really favor compounds too much. They rather just spread out on hills and get as much info as possible.
It's actually a very strong position because if the circle swings this way, they have a lot of ground that really everybody has to push in towards them. So they can see that overlooked position. And speaking of the Knights, I'm pretty sure I remember casting a game from that exact same spot where they got a crazy number of kills. It may have been Vexed, but it's not Vexed or Knights. Got a massive win there, and you can see they got the Car 98s. They've, of course, looted through Miltus. They were down there for a long time. We even see a tier 3 vest on Shiv as well. So he's very heavily geared out, these guys. It's something they've been used to. Oh, and that Kar 98 onto Method may well connect. Method realizing this is not safe territory. They're trying to peek over the hill towards Cloud9 there, and they're going to have to keep their heads down a little.
Yeah, that's one of the tough spots where Method is playing right now. They're bang in the middle, but that specific like hill dip, you have to kind of be a bit safe, because if you have a team where Vitality is right now, they're going to get easy pokes at you. So Method are going to have to play a little bit more safe than they used to. So we see the circle starts to shrink in right now. Everyone pretty much kind of in the center. So this is going to be, the next circle is going to be the toughest one in this game right now, because the next rotation is going to be just a chaotic situation that's going to happen. Unless it goes bang in the middle. If it goes bang in the middle, you're not going to see too much. But if it hits a hard shrink to any of the sides, especially the north, you're going to see a lot of teams struggling, as you see here right now. Look how many compounds in the middle are taken, pretty much nearly all of them. Right. Southeast is clear, northwest is...
Where's it going to swing? Where's it going to swing? It goes over towards Gatka. Okay, this opens up Chopsticks. Now, these two compounds just to the north of Chopsticks are wide open. Sun Sisters may actually blast it straight to them. You can see TSM going for it. Looks like TSM want to get in there as soon as possible. Vitality, we see here on the hill. They have to move, so there's, I would say, a good half of the teams that are all on the west side have to move, which is going to make people like Cloud9, who are in that position, having a very good position. Sun Sisters get there first. You see TSM already in there. This is basically one of the best compounds in the circle right now that everybody's going to fight for. And it looks like TSM, they want to fight for this. You can see them setting up.
Yeah, and this is kind of one of the houses that you can stop at the ridge that this is, and TSM has stopped right now, and like you can actually take a fight off because you have this sick ridge in the north side. See a lot of teams.
Got to be careful of Noble behind them though. You can see Noble up in the hills, just behind them where they're set up. So Sun Sisters obviously trying to peek on it. TSM are keeping their eye. They don't want to go too aggressive. Now, everybody's going to move. Vitality are making their way across towards Chopsticks. They're going to get across. Tempo Storm, Rogue, Kinguin, LGD, Chaos, Optic. Everybody has to move across, and they're all going to pass on by Method, which is an interesting spot for them.
Smokes are being thrown actually by TSM there, and I don't know if they know that Sun Sisters is down only to 2 players in this compound, and TSM have been throwing smokes. They're going to push the compound. They could be taking a fight versus Sun Sisters right now.
Cloud9 are going to have LGD passing straight on by them, like you say. TSM may be going to breach. We're going to keep our eye on that one. You can see it on the minimap. LGD realize they back away. They go straight into 17 from Optic. So LGD actually gone to the radar tower, which I don't think is in the circle. No, I think they're looking at maybe collecting a couple of rotating kills here, which obviously makes it interesting. Chaos, by the way, they're going to go all the way around the north of Everest, I think, here, which is a very long rotate, but it's actually a wise choice. It's probably the safest path.
Indeed. And we see Method just taking shots at Optic. Optic in a really tough spot right now. Bahawaka had to jump off his vehicle because he was a little bit low. And now Leighton controlling this area. You see the rotations also Kinguin and coming in, and KSV just at the very top of the hill.
Where are you going to go? Kinguin. You either go south, you're in Method. You can see setting up the nade, or you go north, and Esther picks you up, and Kinguin will be the first team to go down. They will take 16th position. It has not been a good tournament for them. They are in desperate position now. Talking about rotations, as I mentioned, Chaos, they went all the way around Everest through Georgia Pole, the top of Georgia Pole, and they've come in. They're going to get themselves a clean entry. Rogue are doing a similar job. They've come all the way down the south, all the way around the edge of there. So you can see Chaos, who were way over on the west coast, they've come all the way up and around the top of Everest here and moved in towards this edge. Rogue doing the same. Yannick's going to actually get very close to Vitality. But the rest of Rogue could go north of Chopsticks, and there's just wide open complexes there that are very good spots. Sun Sisters, well, TSM have moved in now into the buildings just above them. They were on the ridgeline just to the north of them. Like you say, they don't realize that there's only 2 members of Sun Sisters alive now.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if they know. I would imagine if they knew there was 2 players that could push it. And we see Oraxe killing Yuan on
they've gone into Chopsticks. Yeah. Rogue have gone into Chopsticks, which is very unusual because Vitality were there already. There's a lot of action happening that way. You can see Monkey here. These guys have got the compound to the south side, just by outside Chopsticks. You can see the kill there coming in from Roxa's Wilson. They will clear it, and Rogue lose their first man. Vitality, as I say, 2nd place in the tournament, have a very good chance at pushing onto Optic, who we've got to keep our eyes on because they are still struggling to rotate within the circle. It's Vitality in a very good position right now to try and collect some kills on Rogue, who've in that Chopsticks, it's a dangerous position, right? While you have decent amount of cover, you're down low, but if someone gets a clear angle in the complex to the north or south of you, you can just see straight down it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be in there when you get surrounded by the compounds. But I think Fuffins might notice, but well, they just got the circle, so they might not have to push an offside. So now Ghost Gaming bang in the middle with Gatka.
And Vitality as well. Vitality phase, everybody's got this circle of Vanguard and TSM just on the edge of it, so everybody's going to move in towards them. Optic, of course, the #1 team at the moment. They have a really tough position. They've got LGD in the hillside, they've got Cloud9 behind them as well, so they've not really got anywhere to go because they've got to pass over this open road. They've got the UAZs. Now, if they're going to rotate, they're going to have to take a wide swing south because they've got to pass on phase, and then they start running into Vitality and Rogue.
The good thing that we just mentioned, they have UAZs, and then this circle, there's a lot of open field, so they're going to have to create this little cover with their UAZs. That's the plus for them right now.
Tempo Storm are tanking it out in the blue.
Yeah, Tempo Storm are 2 players outside the blue right now, and I think the last 2 players in the game. We see Meluke actually in the circle as well, just below Avanga. So we saw a rotation. Diana didn't catch who that was, but we see Meluke.
Gets Turtle, and he's in trouble as well. They're passing on by, so Tempo Storm managed to light them up. They were trying to go a little wide, but Method trying to find a position in towards Gatka. Looks like Andy Pyro has had to ditch it. Layton gets knocked as well. He has to bail out early. Profi will pick up 8C, and Method just gets smashed on the rotations there. Grenades coming out from McCoy. Profi's got to dodge that one. They're going to go both to the right-hand side. It's going to force TSM to dodge to the left, and Profi was ready for someone to push out left. It doesn't work out for them, and Gatka is getting very busy.
Yeah, Gatka's getting busy, and Andy is left alone from Method right now at the rocks just west of Gatka. Don't think they've spotted him just yet from this because they're busy fighting TSM is GG. Throwing a lot of smokes.
One good nade in there. You know, it's very dangerous for TSM to get into all in one building because a couple of nades could just bounce you all over the place.
Exactly.
All the rotations, KSV, LGD, it's an absolute firing squad as they move on through. Cloud9, Vanguard, everybody's lighting them up, and everybody's coming into Gatka right now. This is the position, KSV and LGD, Method all crammed in there. The kill feed's just gone wild because Zampa has just picked himself a hat full of kills for Tempo Storm. Optic also trying to make the way across. There has been an absolute killing fields to the left-hand side of the screen right now. And we knew the rotations were going to have to come in, and we knew it was going to get pretty hectic. Optic are also in trouble there. Chaos getting themselves picked off. Buffett's getting himself a couple of kills there. And TSM and Ghost here in Gatka.
The Optic right now, they're going to get the res, and I believe one of them is in the circle, but they're fighting against KSV just right to the north. If they just wipe KSV, because I think C9 pushed across now.
LGD went out in that blaze of fire. Sexy Pig's the only one standing for KSV right now. Kingwin obviously went out in 15th place, LGD in 14th. So there's a couple of teams now down to 2 or 1 players in this really tricky position. And now Optic, they're just about belly crawling their way into the circle. Sexy Pig, by the way, is just on the hillside there, and he's actually got a decent angle on them. Tempo Storm as well, having to make the way a little bit further north. We're seeing Ghost Gaming here still inside Gatka. I don't really think they're going to find a shot. I don't think TSM are going to peek for this at all. So it's really about Optic and Sexy Pig at the moment, who are kind of staring one and each other out.
Yeah, exactly. And now the circle's going to start shrinking in, and this next rotation is going to be the decider of who will get it, pretty much. Optics Gaming, yeah, they lost their UAZs in that rotation as well. They just blew up going to that ridge, so they're not going to have vehicles if they have to rotate out. It's going to be a tough task for them to win at the first place team right now. Where's
this circle going to go? This is going to make or break some teams, because this next rotation will be pivotal. If it goes south, which it goes north, so everybody down in Vitality, Rogue, all going to have to move. Sun Sister's going to have to move in, whereas TSM and Ghost, who made the push into Gatka, find themselves in a very good position. Andy Pyro actually in that circle as well. Sexy Pig himself, you can see the one man standing for KSV here as another team goes down. I didn't quite catch who that was. We just lost the third one. I think it may have been Fiend from KLG that just died. Either way.
Yeah, KLG are no longer, so they're eliminated as well. And this circle, yeah, this is going to be an open field, and only Gatka having the compound right now. So TSM with that rotation, the previous circle was really crucial to take the
FaZe on the move. FaZe are on the move. They're rotating. They're going to go straight past Cloud9, straight over Andy Pyro, and they're getting very close to him. Andy Pyro pops up and gets Mexi down. Yempty near him as well. We're watching Zampa here on the edge. You can see it's happening just over to the left of where he is. We were seeing it on the map at the moment as Andy Pyro has Yempty staring straight at him there.
And I believe they know, FaZe know that Andy is the last one alive right now, and he's getting shot from different teams. I believe Optic or C9 are taking shots at Andy right now.
The rest of FaZe have moved just the other side. You can see them through the rock there. They've joined him, and like you say, a 14th place would be horrible for Method, who had a very good start to yesterday, but struggled towards the end of it. Confidence is king here for this first map of the day. FaZe, I think they're preferring to stick outside. There's Sexy Pig, 17 sees him. He's going to tank the meds, but he's going to have a shot on towards Sexy Pig in a second as he tries to look around the side there. But look, Cloud9, Moody gets a couple of knocks there, and everybody is just dying the other side. That's going to be Optic going down in 12th place, and that's exactly what Vitality are going to be looking towards, and everybody else looking at second, third, fourth position. FaZe are going to be happy because now they have Cloud9 that need to push in towards them, so they're going to keep an eye on them as we keep looking at Ghost, who are going to see absolutely nothing in Gatka because they're looking at TSM for the rest of the game. Here's going to be FaZe trying to line up the nade, looking towards Frexus. That may well land on him. It's going to bounce him to the side. It will. You can see solid FPS going to have to peek around the side. Yempty going to push out there. Fuzzface gets another nade in, and Cloud9 will go down in 11th place.
That's all the teams on the west side, except for Sexy Pig just eliminated. C9 and Optic killed each other, came in late, and now FaZe just cleaning up on the western side. But Sexy Pig is
still tanking it. He's still tanking it. Yeah, he's got himself into top 10 at least. And he's on the move. He's on the move. Andy Pyro also kept alive as well. Sexy Pig going to come in. FaZe are just going to light him up, and he will go down. That's KSV going out in 10th position. Andy Pyro keeping his team alive, and that's just how it works, right? You got to, if you can snake your way in towards the top 5, it could work out very well for you. At the moment, though, FaZe are well aware that he's still there, so he's got to be careful they don't try and push up on him. He's just basically tucked him behind that rock. A Vanguard, by the way, been quiet so far. 4 players still alive on the edge of the circle.
Yeah, and the north side has been a little bit quiet. It's just been the main action has been just from the west, and the Vanguard has just been watching this, killing a few rotators as well. And the next circle, kind of a bit central, Gatka's still in. So the Ghost Game and TSM are going to be extremely happy. Andy and FaZe, they both going to have to move right now.
Vitality are in a really sticky position. They're on the rotate now, and they're blasting it for Gatka. They're blasting straight into Gatka. Vitality are going to try and get in. They're going to go for the 3-story compound that's in there, or 2-story, I guess, with a roof. And Vitality have got in. Shadow, so they've got 2 in and 2 out at the moment with Vitality, so they managed to get himself in there. Fuzzface gets knocked by Andy Pyro as they try and peek on his rock. He's keeping hold. As a man from Gibraltar, you should be proud of him. He's keeping hold of that rock.
Yeah, he's holding the rock, Andy. Not letting that go, but now he has a really tough task. I mean, it's 3 guys from FaZe, and he's going to rotate out, and this is going to be really tough for him. He's going to start snaking out.
He's going to a Vanga.
Yeah, but the Vanga is probably going to catch him off guard right now here.
An aid inside Gatka takes Monkey, gets knocked. That's going to be TSM working on that, and Monkey will go down in the end. Vanguard gets a little vision, gets a perfect vision actually, gets a straight old look on towards break there, doesn't manage to get the knock though, only using the M4 of course. They know that Andy Pyro has just moved up close to him, which is why they're trying to nade it down. They're going to jump in the Dacia, yeah, away they go. So they're going to make their way in towards Gatka as well, or maybe set up a little compound of their own. You can see there's just a couple of rocks down here, and it's going to be perfect for them. Andy Pyro, you see, just set there. I don't know whether Drainage just saw him as he skipped in towards the air to find Legit, will find Shiv as well. So that's Vitality that had moved in. The 2 members of Vitality that had gone into Gatka are now down, so only Shadow and Aroxade's alive for them. Of course, second place team who are chasing on Optic at the moment. Optic went down in 12th, I believe. They need to try and get a much better finish where they are right now, and they've got an open field to pass.
Yeah, 9 teams are remaining right now, so every team wants to get this snaking in this field because there's not too much cover. Andy's still outside the zone, as we see Noble landing a lot of shots on a Vanguard right now here with a really good angle. Just going to prone his return fire with a Vanguard. Drain is seen Natural there underneath. It gets a knockdown onto Natural. Drain is with really good shots with that 15 times actually.
Shadow goes down. Aroxade's the last man standing for Vitality. He's still outside the farm, and it's such a horrific pass he's going to make because it's an open field. You can see Jazza snaking it in as well. Noble are inside the white. Jazza and Aroxade is the only 2 that are outside now. Andy Pyro also got to shift himself forward still, and that's going to be dangerous territory because he's going to creep in towards a Vanguard. But if a Vanguard are caught in a fight with Noble here, they may not notice him creeping up behind them.
Yeah, Andy might actually get in there. That field and prone behind.
Aroxade's down. Vitality go out in 8th place, which is, whoa, I'm trying to think of the points difference. It's not great.
Jazza also doing the snake game on the south and eastern side, sorry. He's trying to snake in. I don't know if he's going to be spotted. Vanguard landing more shots onto Noble, just back and forth right now.
Andy Pyro snuck in the circle, so Method now into top 7 as Noble get 2 more knocks. Rogue will go down. They finish in 7th place as finally Jazza gets picked off, and a Vanguard take Noble down. Noble go down in 6th place. Consistency keeping up there, by the way. Now, look at Andy Pyro. He has perfect vision on a Vanguard, sees them all there, but certainly does not want to fire. Dren is looking his direction and just basically holding his nerve. He's actually crept Method into the top 5.
Yep.
Very impressive. The circle swings, and my word, nobody inside it. It's gone to the open fields of Gatka.
The only thing is, if Andy has a nade here, they're all grouped up. One nade, Andy could wipe a Vanguard, but I'm not too sure if he does have that nade. We'll see now in a few seconds if he's going to pull it off. I know he's looking at them, but Keen, looking at that headshot.
Who's going to mobilize first? Because FaZe, TSM, and Ghost
Andy
will never make the way out. Andy does take the shots. He gets one single knock. Looking towards the vehicle. Gets the vehicle knock. Keen will go down. Switches across. Gets the ×2. Gets a right big knock with the AK. Straight into the head of Onu there. Can he get some more? As Drennis picks, I think some nades were being tossed out there. You can see them lining up. That nade's going to make Andy move. It's going to run towards him. It only bounces him ever so slightly. They don't really have a clean angle, and every time they peek, Andy's managed to take the shot. He's got to get up now. The zone's on, and he will go down. So that's Method down as FaZe obviously knew that Andy was there the entire time. FaZe peeks out. 6 kills for them and counted as the Vanguard get picked apart. They're down to 1, I believe, as FaZe tries to push up on them. FaZe trying to take the shots. They see the last member of the Vanguard, and they will go down in 4th place as FaZe pick them apart. Now, Austin has made the move from Ghost Gaming. He's the only man inside the circle. TSM, Ghost, and FaZe all have to make their way across. TSM lighting up FaZe as they try and make the move across. Haxeti gets knocked by the play zone, so Yempty and FaZe both go into snake mode as TSM now need to worry about Ghost up behind them as they have to try and make the way out of there. Breakmane's fine, Yempty. Now we're looking at Ghost. TSM is just going to really come out, but they're a 4-man squad still. They find themselves the vehicle, looking towards the white, and they can shoot straight through. AMPR taking down to nothing. Smack gets knocked. Quixter jumps around, and Ghost are just lighting TSM up there. They're going to get themselves 1-2. They fire break. TSM get destroyed, and Ghost Gaming take the chicken dinner as FaZe will go down in 2nd place. We talked about the revival of Ghost Gaming, how they came back in Oakland on day 2, and my God, they've taken the first win of the day.
Yeah, exactly like we said. I mean, in Oakland, they were struggling with day 1, and day 2, they just brought in Ham, and this is a start that Ghost won it. 12-kill win, just perfectly played that. Misplay by TSM, all of them jumping on the vehicles at the same time and just abandoning when Ghost Gaming was just behind them. And FaZe actually ended up coming 2nd out of all of that.
Snaked it in
by FaZe. I believe he was healing outside the zone when the Gemty died. So FaZe with 7 kills, 2nd place, and TSM with a 6-kill 3rd place. So this is a game that both FaZe, Ghost Gaming, and TSM wanted to start with in Game 5.
Vanguard 4th,
yeah, exactly.
Vanguard 4th, and they were obviously at 983 points at the start, so that's going to be massive for them. They got themselves 7 kills as well. TSM, of course, in 3rd place.